Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So I want to go and cover some of the things that I am reading in the headlines. This is not to scare anybody because we've been hearing these saber rattling for a while now. But Russia says one missile will trigger hundreds of warheads. Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about this. So I'm going to grab my cell phone here because I got the article already pulled up and it should be popping up here for you. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday once again drew international attention when he warned that even if one missile enters Russian territory, hundreds of warheads will respond. I assure you, after the early warning system receives a signal of a missile attack, hundreds of our missiles are in the air. This comes on the heels of the drone attacks that hit their air base there in Russia. This is one of their nuclear capable air bases. And when I say that, I mean they have planes that are nuclear capable. They're bombers. And we did a video on that showing it should be a pop-up there, of the explosion. That doesn't look like a drone to me. That looks like a missile strike, for one. Why would Russia not acknowledge a missile strike? Well, I mean, something slipped through their air defense system. Okay? Perception is everything. Or it could be, as they said, they knocked out a drone in the air and that's the fire cascading from the drone. But again, I'll slow the video down for you. That looks like an impact blast and then explosion coming from the ground up. Maybe I'm not reading physics correctly or know anything about explosives. Oh wait, I was munition systems in the United States Air Force. I know what an explosion looks like. So with this, what does that mean? Quite frankly, it could all just be a whole bunch of saber rattling again. That's been going on for, well, almost a year now since the invasion. I know it's not been a full year yet on the invasion. But we've been watching this for a while. When they first built up those troops and they're running drills, I was also on the bandwagon saying they're fixing to invade. And then they didn't. The second time they done it though, we watched and we watched. And when they transferred actual blood to the front lines, that's when we knew they're going in. And we said they were going to go in. Once we saw that, we knew. And they did. Now you keep on seeing the capturing of ground and surrendering of ground there in Ukraine. I love how the media is presenting this as if Russia doesn't know what they're doing militarily. And look, they're losing. They lost this amount of ground. No. Russia's been around for a while. A very long time. They've been in every war. They know how to fight a war. You know, the reports I was reading where all the Russian equipment was getting blown up and all this stuff. I wanted to see what type of equipment they were using. They're using Soviet air equipment that dated back to Afghanistan, when Russia had invaded Afghanistan. They're using their old shit first. Yeah. Now we got reports that they're bringing in their new stuff. And why would you use up all your old crap? So that the opposition would have to use their state-of-the-art equipment, their javelins, all these tank busters, all this stuff. Wear you down. Make them use up everything before you roll in your heavy equipment, your very good state-of-the-art equipment. Yeah, which we call that. It's that simple. When we started seeing the old tanks and all the old crap roll in, we knew they're holding everything back for when they were going to get going. This war is going to get a lot worse. A lot worse. Now, we've got to take in consideration the terrain. Everyone's like, well, they're not going to do anything until it all freezes up again. Possible. You know, they're worried about mud and all that other stuff with all the equipment, but artillery will reach out and touch it too. I expect them to continue artillery until they can get mobile again. It's just not going to stop. They're going to be raining. They'll be shelling nonstop. As for if a single missile crosses into Russia territory, I think that's a way of Russia saying that it was a missile attack without saying it, because, you know, they said drone. The Ukraine is currently not taking claim that they use drones, at least last I saw on the reports. It's this whole cat and mouse BS with this. You can't get a straight answer from the media. None. You're definitely not going to get a straight answer from our government. You're not going to get a straight answer from any government. You know, I was talking to a good friend of mine, airborne prepper, and we were on the phone a couple days ago about this whole war. Both, he was in the military as well. We're looking at him like, we know Russia could just take Ukraine if they wanted to. Why are they just going so far and stopping? What is the cat and mouse game they're doing? What are they doing? It's not because Ukraine has the best equipment and, you know, hardened warriors. I know there's going to be people arguing with me on, well, they've been fighting all their lives. There used to be Russian, all this stuff. Yeah, there are some. The amount of numbers and equipment that Russia can roll right in and just roll right over Ukraine, it's very staggering. I'm not a Russian sympathizer. I don't like Russia. Those are the commie bastards. Always has been, always will be. I don't like them. But I'm looking at this as a military standpoint. They should have already took it. Why didn't they? They have the means. Why didn't they? Not that I want them to, but I want to look at it as intelligently as possible. Look exactly what type of equipment they have. Look at the equipment they've been using that's been getting blown all to crap. That old ass shit. Now they're releasing the new stuff. What is their end game? This is a conversation me and Airborne was having. I don't know. I don't know what their end game is. They should have already took it. I think it's very interesting that Poland is upgrading their military massively. A lot of people believe that our part in the war here in the United States and NATO is going to be coming out of Poland. Well, yeah, geologically speaking, it's one of the best spots to do it. I do know that our government is reaching out to other countries looking to have staging air bases and things like that with them so they can react if necessary. I believe the headline I read was U.S. looking to make other countries targets because of that. You know, as a prepper, guys, I want to tell everybody just to stay prepped. I don't know what's going to happen. I know what I believe, all right? But that's just my thoughts and belief. That don't mean it's wrote in stone. It don't mean it's going to happen. But my belief is, yes, we're going to see a major uptake in a global war. I do. When that happens, we're going to see stuff here in this country as well. It's not just going to be overseas. It's not going to be some far off fight in the sandbox. No, it's going to be a global conflict. Make sure you're prepped. You don't have to run out to the store right now. You don't have to run out to the store, you know. Just do what we've been showing you for almost 4 years now. When you go to the grocery store, buy a couple extra cans of food. Buy a 20-pound bag of rice. Buy a 20-pound bag of beans. Each time you go to the grocery store, pick up extra food items. Check your medical supplies. Do you have enough medical supplies? Do you have any? I'm not talking about one of those little crappy ass first aid kits that you see in Walmart with, you know, a 1,000-piece set where 900 pieces is Band-Aids. Don't buy that. Build your own. Build your own. You get better equipment for a fraction of the cost buying those pre-made first aid kits. Those things are a joke. And now when it comes to your food, you know, guys, I'm telling you, canned goods, dry goods, you can get up to 2 years supply of that at a fraction of the cost of long-term food stores. We store both, all right? Long-term food storage, you know, like for Patriots, Legacy, the other companies that we're working with, 25-year shelf life. I can put that back. 2 years supply of normal food, rotational stock. You got 2 years worth of food. That's to hold you over while you're working on gardening. Now, if a massive global conflict happens, you're going to see a big dip in your grocery store. Huge. You're not going to be able to buy the stuff that you usually buy if you can find a lot of food. If you can find any food, to be honest. You need to have seeds. You need to have a way of growing. And I hope we've been showing how to grow on this channel for several years now, since we've had this channel. Just because you have seeds doesn't mean you're going to have a successful garden. You need to be learning how. You need to be out there growing. Because one of the biggest things I see here on this YouTube channel and other channels is how people's got windowsill gardens, little potted plants, and they're talking about how they are ready for the apocalypse. Well, you're full of crap. I grew up in farm country. We grew up on a farm. It takes a lot of room to feed a family for a year. A lot of land. So those little windowsills, yeah, you might get a meal. And then what? And I do say might get a meal because you know how much food you're going to have to eat to sustain yourself if you're just growing a couple tomatoes and maybe some lettuce in a windowsill? It takes a lot of room. So you need to be working on this as well. Just keep at it. All right? Just because we're not cities ablaze here in America doesn't mean shit's not going to happen. We can see it building and building. It's right in our faces that it's building up. But I can talk till I'm blue in the face. And if you're just one of those people that want to keep your head in the sand, that's all I'll be doing. I'll never get through to you. Been on here for 4 years trying to reach people, trying to get people ready for all forms of shit hits the fan. Everything from natural disasters to an end-all be-all major conflict. Now, right fast, I want to clarify something for everyone. Just because we go into a World War III scenario does not mean it is the end of the world. How do I know? We've been through 2 of them. Will it be bad? Yes. Do I think it's going to destroy the world? No, I don't. Will you be affected? Yes. Everybody was affected. Every war that's been fought, every world war, everybody's been affected. You might not see shelling on your street, but you'll see it with rationing. You'll see it in the food supply. All right, guys. Just keep at it. Don't listen to the people on the internet when nothing's happened, nothing's ever going to happen. One, they're talking out of their wazoo. Things happen every day. Being a prepper, you're prepared for anything. Everything from natural disasters to personal shit hits the fan moments. House burned down, auto crash, health. Just keep at it. All right. I'll speak to y'all later.